if you're here because you saw the thumbnail and you're like, oh, there's a multiplayer update coming. That's what we call clickbait. Welcome to the channel. So I love Palia. That is, I mean, obviously we make a lot of videos around Palia. We do other things outside of Palian content. Like we'll talk about other cozy games, other games coming, MMOs, stuff like that. However, the main point of this channel is Palia. I want to get more involved with the Palia Discord, the Reddit, and on the Reddit, there are a shitload of complaints. And yes, Palia is very far from perfect, but it's still in beta. Beta does not mean full release, so they're going to constantly be adding things to the game as the game progresses because Singularity 6 listens to the community. They know what we want, and they're working on getting things in. The best thing we can do as a community is to vocalize our opinions and vocalize what we want to see. So my way of doing that is to make these videos of things I would like to see them include in certain aspects of the game. The first thing this game needs is some sort of competition, and I'm not saying like combat. I'm not saying bring in PvP with combat. There's other types of PvP that we can include. I want you to know that. Every time someone says PvP, everyone's like, no. So let's take a step back and really look at what PvP means. It means player versus player. That does not mean player versus player to the death. That's a way, like, I understand, I get the people like, oh, PvP is bad. PvP is not bad. It's just a type of PvP you guys are thinking of, which is combat. But take the Choppa event, for example. That's a mini game that was player versus player. You're going against other players. That, in my mind, was a step in the right direction, but the game was very generic. It was just pick up a Choppa, drop it somewhere else. And it was awesome in the beginning, but it became very repetitive, and it was the only one in the game. So I made a list of a few things they can include. 1, glider racing. This would be awesome. They can add some sort of course where there are rings in the air made either of flow or smoke, and you jump down off a cliff and you have to glide and through these rings with your glider. Now, I know that when you're gliding, you start going down, but if you look in the game, you can see little wind trails. Now, we can add a mechanic in the game where they add the gust of wind in that wind trail that can help pick up the player's glider and keeps them moving. Now, if you miss the wind trail and you hit to the ground, you can hop on one of the geysers. The geysers can constantly be spraying, so you jump in, you hop back on your glider, and you keep flying. Also, you can have them as a timed event. If you don't have anyone to go against, you can do a solo where you go through and it times you. And it has a timer up and you can beat your time or the server's best time. The next one is fishing competitions. This will require some tuning to fishing, but I think it could be a great idea if implemented correctly. First, they can add a weight system to the fish. Along with the quality system they already have. So you can have your basic fish with weight and a star quality fish with weight. At a dock, there could be a sign where you can enter a fishing competition with other players. You have 5 minutes to catch all the fish you can and turn them in somewhere. This, by the way, is a great way to implement the froggy bucket. That Einar is like, have you seen the froggy bucket? So let's say you go to the dock and you get into this competition with another player, other players, and at the end, you have to turn in all your fish. And that's when it ranks who won. And you just drop it in the froggy bucket's mouth. Then it could pop up, and of course you're going to get paid. You'll get a gold value for whatever you turn in. But if you're first place, you can gain a reward and probably double the amount of money you got for those fish. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be really neat and a great way to add some sort of competition. The next one on mini games is a new obstacle course. Yes, we have the tower, which is awesome. Still haven't completed it yet. It frustrates the out of me. Adding another obstacle course in the same area in the underground where you go, and it's not just the tower. There's other areas for a new obstacle course that you can go against someone. You hop in a miniature version of the tower and you go through. Or another good example would be a maze. You and several other players get hopped into a maze very similar to the one in Fire Temple, but 100 times harder, and you have to make it through, and the first person at the end wins. And the last one on the minigame list is the coolest thing I saw on a Reddit post. The guy just went in, like, I'm not going to steal everything he says because I don't steal content, but I'm going to give you the cliff notes of what he said, and I think it's really awesome that they can do this. An archery contest where 2 players get to an area where a bunch of targets are popping up, and then they have to hit it. And whoever hits the most targets wins in a certain amount of time. That is like the brief overview of what he said. I mean, he went into detail. Now, getting into the second thing they need to add and implement into multiplayer. More reasons to be in a party. Going into that like main complaint that there's no reason for a party outside of to hang out with friends, I kind of wanted to expand on that. To me, being in a party in Palia is either for when they want to come visit your plot, which honestly they don't have to be in your party at all. As long as you make your plot open, they can just hop on in, or to just play with friends. I like that. I enjoy that, but I do have to agree there's no serious advantages. So I believe the party system could have some sort of buff. Let's talk about gathering, or like not just gathering. We can exclude fishing on this, but gathering, mining, like foraging and stuff like that. I believe that if you're in a party, you shouldn't have to tap a flow tree and then wait for other people to also come and tap that tree with the axe, not tap that axe. Tap that. I believe that if you're in a party, only one party member should do the tap. So if there's multiple parties out there, because the cap is 4 people. So let's say there's 12 in Bahari Bay and there's a flow tree. Only one person from each party needs to tap that tree. And then everyone can cut it down, or just those people, but everyone can get that flow. Same thing with Pelianor. Pelianor, it doesn't rejuvenate. Is that the right? Rejuvenate? Am I stupid? It doesn't regenerate like flow trees. So only a certain amount of people can touch that Pelianor. That is a serious disadvantage for other people that are around. So if you're in a party, one little taparoonie, everyone around you and other party members, just one tap. That's all it takes. Everyone can gather it. But the main thing I want to talk about for parties is a public party system. I think that'd be a great addition to the game, and we can call them adventure parties. These could be a temporary party system that you can go into an adventure zone. Like, you know those signs are at the stables? So put a sign adjacent to that, like not the map, but like a bulletin board of some kind, which we'll get more into the bulletin board in a minute. But a bulletin board where you can go up and register a party. And once you register that party, you can list what that party's for. Gathering flow trees, gathering ore, or gathering in general, quests, etc., etc. People can walk up after you've established a party on the board and join. And now you're working together. Then you can talk and party, whatever you want to do. And also another good advantage of adventure parties is because it's not forced social activity. A lot of games try to force social activity where you have to do this or you have to do that. It is your choice to join the adventure party. And also, it is another way for you to meet new people in the Palian community and possibly invite them into your actual community. A good segue from that is number 3 on our list, a social hub. When I think of a social hub, I think of an area where all players can come together and just vibe, just hang out, chit chat, shoot the shit. This isn't necessarily for everyone, and I get that. Not a lot of people are gamer extroverts like myself. I am very extroverted when it comes to gaming. I like to get to know people. I like to talk to people. I get involved. Some people are like Kirito from Sword Art Online. Great anime. I sound so white. It's like I'm a white person at a Mexican restaurant going, hola. So yeah, if you're a solo player, this one probably wouldn't be that good for you, but this is something that I personally believe would be perfect for the game. If they increase the Kilmo Village server capacity to like 30-35 and added a reason to go to the tavern or the underground at night, I think that would add a lot of social activity to the game. Every MMO player imagines a bustling tavern where they go in, everyone's hanging out, sitting down, drinking mead or ale, getting lit with the homies. That is like every MMO player's dream. They love that shit. I love that shit. Think of it as at night, a certain area opens up like the tavern or the underground where there's interactive furniture. You sit down, and doing that, when you're around people and you're drinking ale, it adds some sort of buff to the game. And also at the tavern, I believe they should incorporate mini games. One of the best tavern mini games I could think of is Gwent. If you don't know what Gwent is, I highly recommend, 1, watching The Witcher until after season 3. After that, stop. Henry Cavill, I'll miss you. Play Witcher. At least play Gwent. It's a fantastic card game. But that added life to the tavern in that game. was just sitting down and going against either an NPC or another player, we can implement that, trust me, because there's a Gwent card game that you can download and go against other players. We can have a Palian version of that because there is Palian checkers. I mean, yes, they can implement a card game into Palia where you even collect cards. That you can definitely do that. I don't see that happening, but I think what they can do is add a tavern game called Liar's Dice. If you don't know what Liar's Dice is, it's possibly one of the funnest games to play with your friends while you're drinking. You having a few beers or soda. I know some of you are underage. Don't drink till you're 21. I've been playing this game for years. My little brother. We learned about it while watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and so we looked it up. It's been fun. I even 3D printed the dice and the cups, but it can be very easy to implement into the game. All you have to do is add a table with 4 chairs, and each chair in front of it has a dice set of 5 dice and a cup. Now you can sit down at the chair, you can shake the cup, slam the dice down that's in the cup, and then you can literally go from there. Look up Liar's Dice. Like, if you want to learn what Liar's Dice is, just look it up. But it could be a very easy thing to implement, and since it's a cozy game, we don't have to wager. We can just play for fun. Yeah, so a social hub and tavern mini games. It'll give you a reason to get involved more with the Palian community. Number 4, this isn't me talking. This is half the community talking. Trading. There needs to be a trade system between friends, even if they implement a mailing system, which could be the only way to trade. If you think about it, a mailing system that is linked to a trade that has an item cap to 1. So you can only send 1 item, but you can send a stack of that item. So if you want to send 100 flow planks, you can. You can definitely just attach it to a letter and send it, and you have to type out something. So I can send my friend Brutal, who is an absolute I can send him a message saying, "Cowboy butts make me nuts," add 100 flow planks, and send it to him. And when you send it, it doesn't immediately get sent to him. It could take a range of time to get to him, between 5 minutes to 2 hours. I mean, that is like our mailing system. But let's not make it like FedEx, because you FedEx. However, the only thing I don't believe that you should send is gold. And if they do add this in and they do decide where you can send gold, I think only 500 a day. And also, you can only send this letter to somebody once every 24 hours. You can send multiple letters to people, but only 1 per person for 24 hours. Number 5 on the list is multiplayer achievements and objectives. Daily objectives that will include multiplayer. The objectives are optional, but they are there. They're not forced, they're just there. Daily objectives could mean you have to catch X amount of fish together, hunt X amount of surnooks or choppas, whatever, etc. The options are pretty much endless and can be rewarded with all sorts of items if you complete your dailies. So let's say you complete your dailies for today. You'll be rewarded with, let's say, 5 Dari cloves. Or it could be another way to gain some gold in the game. You complete your dailies and you can cash out at like 1,000 to 2,000 extra gold in that day. Some people struggle making gold in Palia. I don't know how. Honestly, to me, I got a potato farm going on that I will pickle those potatoes and then I sell them. By the way, we have cooking videos coming very soon with Palian recipes, and I'm very, very excited. And this can be the same with achievements. There need to be more achievements focused on building a group or party, even in your community. People will be more social with each other because there are gamers out there that want to 100% the game. Every game they play, they're 100%ers, which those people are mental, by the way. Number 6, a community notice board. I love this. I love this in so many games that I've seen it, and I'm pretty sure this was in Toontown back in the day. If you guys ever played Toontown, implement in-game notice boards where players can post messages, requests for assistance, or events they're organizing. This kind of goes hand in hand with the setting up an adventure party system, but an in-game bulletin system is a physical board placed in central locations within the game world, such as the main town or community hubs, like the tavern. They serve as a virtual space where players can post messages and notice to others to read. Now, I do know that if they add this, and I do think they should, because that'd be awesome, because I will troll so many people. But that's exactly what they have to look for, is the trolls. Like, unfortunately, like me. I won't post like bad things, but like I'll post something ridiculous, like went to Bahari, got crabs. But in there you can post things, and I do know a lot of people are gonna post their Twitch links and their Kick links and their YouTube channels. Not me, I won't do that. I think those are the I need attention people. I mean, yeah, promote yourself in any way you can, but however, there's social media out there. Use Instagram and Twitter. Don't post it in game. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see a local chat going, hey guys, I'm live right now. Don't do that. Don't be that person. But also, the in-game bulletin system could be an event announcement between players. And this is where cake parties come in. Players can advertise in-game events, gatherings, parties, or role-playing sessions they're hosting. Like cake parties, a player might post a notice inviting others to a cake party or to do dailies. I think that would be neato burrito. Now, on top of that, what's a board if you can't respond? Players can browse the posted notices and respond to them and initiate interaction with other players who have posted messages. They can send direct message to discuss details or post on the board itself to arrange a meetup. This also is great for community building. If you have a guild and you're actively trying to recruit people, instead of going around and inviting people in the server to your community, because you can just open up and invite like a this is an easier way to do it, because you could post, hey, we're a community, we're looking for more people, and people can respond, hey, invite me to your community. I think that would be just fantastic. And the last thing, but to me, this is the most important, because I've been playing this game since alpha, and the one thing I never understood was you can't use the campfires. And looking at the campfires, I thought about this. So number 7 brings me to picnicking and social activities. Create a picnic area near certain spots where players can gather for social activities. They can share food, stories, and even engage in mini games like card games or board games. So that goes back into Gwent, or their version of Gwent, if they decide to make it, or Liar's Dice. But also a good reason to implement a campfire mechanic. Implement an in-game campfire where players can gather, sit, and engage. So if you sit down at the campfire and everyone is around, and all those campfires that are around Kilima and Bahari and the future adventure zones, you should be able to walk up and use them. And if you're in a party and you cook food on that campfire, people should be able to walk up and get some food. However, if you do that, I don't think that if you go up and grab one, you should get like a stack of 3 like you usually do when you cook things. They should get 1. If you're the chef of the campfire, you should get 3, but only other players can get 1. This is another reason to be in a party. If you're sitting there and you are just completely depleted on focus, and there's a campfire and your homie's got some food, put on some stuff on the campfire. You know, let's grill out. Let's have a queue, but also add more food recipes to the campfire. Add a rare or a legendary recipe for a campfire. Obviously, there's a kitchen, and in that kitchen you can make all sorts of food. But if you're out in an adventure zone and you're depleted on focus, add more recipes that we could create and use together. And no, they won't give as much focus as you would in a normal kitchen, but they're better than what we have currently. So this is what I believe they should go ahead and add into multiplayer. There's a lot of other things. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, while you're doing that, be sure to like and subscribe. On top of that, be sure to join the Discord. The Discord is growing every single day, and I would love to have you there. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.